Hello friends, welcome again to my channel. This is Spiritual Gigi, and as promised I would continue to talk about astrology, the basics and an intro, and we'll have different parts. This is part 2. In this particular session, I want to just give you some more information. There are two types of astrology. There's the Western astrology as we know it here in the United States, and there is an Eastern astrology system. So there are two systems, the Western astrology system and the Eastern astrology system. But for our purposes, the information that I'm giving will be from the Western system. And just to recap, or from the other video, astrology is just the study of stars, and it was believed to be developed in Egypt and then transferred or passed on to the Babylonians. And this system gives us basically an understanding of how the planets and the stars, the sun, the moon, how it affects us as human beings. The characters, our character traits, should I say, and some of our potentials can be noticed if we study astrology. We can get an idea of a person's character, or even some of our options or opportunities that we may have, that we may come across as we journey through this life. So when we start working with astrology, it can give us some insight on more on who we are, and some possible, again, like I said, options, opportunities, and like a blueprint or a map, if you will. So let's start. I want to start by giving you some terms. Okay, let's start by giving a term. Well, before I give the terms, let me go here. We know that the moon has lots of power. When you think of how the gravitational pull of the moon affects the low tide and the high tide of the ocean, think about that. The tides of the ocean, low tide and high tide, are directly affected by the moon because of the gravitational pull from the moon. So if the moon has that great of effect on the ocean, imagine the effect that it has on us. We are mostly water within our bodies, just like the ocean. We have sodium or salt in our bodies, just like the ocean. We have minerals in our bodies, just like the ocean. So if the gravity from the moon affects the ocean in that way, surely it has some effect on us as humans and our bodies, our emotions, just in many, many ways. So that I just wanted to give that little analogy to you and give you some thought, give you something to think about. Put your comments in below if you have any comments on that, or what are your thoughts about that statement. Okay, if the moon's gravity can affect the ocean, then surely it can affect us because we have some of the same makeup as the moon. Okay, now let's get into some of the terms. Rising sun. Rising sun, also known also known as the sun sign, also known as the ascendant sign. And that basically is the degree of the zodiac as it was at the exact time of our birth. And it mostly shows our public image, how we are seen by the public, what image we portray to the public, the way we present ourselves to the world, and how the world sees us because of the presentation that we give to the world, just the face. Okay, when we think about other terms, some of the other terms would be, I talked about the rising sun or the ascendant. How about the descendant? The descendant is just the opposite of the ascendant, and that has to do with how you relate to other people. Okay, usually how you relate to other people, your moon sign. And so the moon, the sun, the stars, the planets, whether we realize it or not, they do affect our lives. And It doesn't matter if we really understand it, but it just is what it is. The challenges that we face sometimes, the opportunities that we present, that are presented to us, to show up in our lives, it all has an effect, or we can use astrology to help us through those challenging times, or to make best decisions in times where opportunities are presented to us. Okay, let's go on. Let's talk about some other terms. Okay, I talked about the rising sun and the ascendant. Let's talk about the natal chart or birth chart. The natal chart or birth chart is a circular, like a circular map. Okay, and that map is sort of like a blueprint wheel, and it's divided into 12 parts. Okay, and it shows how, again, it's like a map. It just shows how the movement of the planets in the sky, how they travel around in our specific birth or natal chart. And it's divided into 12 sections called houses. The houses in this circular chart are like slices of pie, like in a pie graph. And each one of our natal or birth charts is divided into these 12 parts like a pie. And each one of those slices or houses represent a different aspect of our lives. So each one is exactly 30 degrees, and it's 1/12 of a full 360-degree circle. When we talk about nodes, the nodes are like calculations. Nodes are calculated math calculations that relate to karma and our fate in life. And then there's some things called transits, and transits refer to the planets as they move through the sky and where they're located throughout the journey in that circle or that map. And then we know the zodiac, which I talked about in the first video, is that animal journey. It's the journey of the planets, and it's shows as animal signs, and it shows how the sun goes through the sky, divided into those 12 signs, and each sign is classified by a category of elements or modality, and they each have a polarity, each of those signs, those zodiac signs. And each element is expressed differently. So the 4 elements that are related to the zodiac would be fire, earth, air, and water. Okay? Each one has its own energy, each one has its own characteristics, and they all, we all have, are represented by those zodiac that's in the sky. I mean, that's in in our natal chart or in our birth chart. Okay, just like the different seasons, summer, winter, spring, and fall, they are all caused by the tilt of the axis of the earth, and how that tilt, and with the sun, in relationship to the sun and the moon and all of that, it affects the different seasons. The summer, winter, spring, and fall are affected or begin because of how the tilt of the Earth's axis, and as it's and in relationship to the sun. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here. The next video, I will go into more detail the different zodiac that are included in each of that's represented by each of the category elements, fire, earth, air, and water. But I want to make each video short and sweet and hopefully informative. But I want you to leave your comments below. Nice comments. Be nice. Leave comments. What do you think about these videos so far? I hope it's helping you, giving you some information, enlightening you, and helping you to understand. We'll get deeper and deeper, and more information I'll bring to you about astrology, as well as other things on my channel. Share this channel with someone. Like and this video, subscribe if you have not subscribed. I look forward to hearing your comments. Give me your feedback. Tell me what you think about the channel. Give me some positive feedback, please. But until next time, friends, I'll see you later. Spiritual Gigi signing off.